108. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Center 50 Paintball Podcast. I am joined by PJ tonight. TC cannot be here. Typical TC fashion, nerd. Um, Tonight, we don't really have nothing to do with pregame just yet. We're going to save that for the following episode, where it's closer to the event. We do have some things that we want to talk about the new 2026 season that we decided to save that for that episode. So tonight we will be talking about what, PJ?
Um, Nostalgic gear and stuff like that. It seems like this podcast is built on a lot of nostalgia and things of that nature. The entire last episode was primarily about nostalgia, um, and it's the biggest thing in paintball. You know, nostalgia in paintball sales. We hold on to what's old and like a granny clutching her pearls, right?
That's a fun way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%, man, because we always talk about the good old days and how good we had it, especially when we had cheaper flex parts
Mm.
and like sandanas and everything worked like 300, 400 fucking dollars and shit, you know?
Yeah. So it's
So,
just kind of things that we miss. Talk about some things that have been brought back into play. Things that we're glad aren't around anymore. This is kind of like we knew we had to get an episode out this week, and I thought that the event was a little bit closer, so I was kind of planning on a pregame, but no, we have a whole another 2 weeks until we're ready for that. So
yeah.
that's gonna be a fun one. NXL Tampa. The Thursday matches are going to be inside the Tampa Bay Buccaneer Stadium. That's going to be great. I hope that we don't absolutely fucking trash the grounds. They, and just
I
ruin
hope
it.
not, man.
But we'll see. Daniel, you're getting ready to get the fuck up out of there, aren't you? You're that's why you're sitting here with a background this week.
Yeah, I can't do my typical.
Yeah.
It's just a white wall back there, and I didn't want to leave it bland for the YouTubers. Yeah, everything actually has been going pretty smooth, other than um some stupid fixes on the house that the buyer wants. But I mean, like they're not serious. It's just like little nitpicky stuff, but almost nitpicky to the point if any more requests came in, I'd be like, well, if you want a brand new house, then go buy a fucking brand new house.
Mm.
But it's because it's eating up my time, But like I get it where the buyer's coming from, but then again, I kind of don't. I'm kind of like 60-40 on it. 60% tired of it already and 40%
Yeah.
understanding. But uh, in regards of buying our house in Virginia that we're gonna get, it's kind of sort of in the country a little bit. I wouldn't call it like country, not like where we were, born and raised, but
No,
like
we were
for
we
that
were born
area,
and
it's
raised
considered
in the
country.
fucking sticks.
Literally, we would go play in a cornfield across the road. But yeah, everything's going smooth. In like 2 to 3 weeks, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I've already like started leaving work chats and everything. Packed up most of my guitars, packed up all of my gear, like all my extra gear, except for what's in my gear bag. Because come tomorrow, like we're recording this Saturday on what's today, the 27th, I believe. Yeah. So tomorrow I'm meeting Moon Pie and Can, and we're driving down to GTF to meet up
Yeah.
with like Alec, Christian, and them. Kind of have like I guess, a last play date,
Yeah.
essentially. Because I don't see your ass coming down here before I leave, so that kind of
It's gonna
sucks.
it's gonna be it's gonna be tight.
Yeah,
My,
well, uh,
you keep disappearing. It's
uh,
kind of hilarious.
yeah.
Which I mean,
Yeah, I
technically,
ain't gonna do it.
technically that's you in the background anyway. So I mean, it's the fucking
Yep.
nothing changed.
Yeah.
It's like you
I
never
mean, I
left.
could I could turn it off if you need me to, but
Nah, it's good. I don't give a fuck. Listen, our
yeah.
last YouTube video had like 6 views, 6 or 8 views. So I don't give a fuck. Like it's just up there.
Yeah.
It's just up there for the
Take it or leave it.
yeah, for the couple of people that enjoy it. And I'm like, some days I wonder, is it even worth just fucking with? Because it's not like it's that much. It's not. I don't do a whole lot to the YouTube videos for this platform. You know, when the YouTube thing came about, we had I just want to make sure my audio is picking up here. We had some plans on expanding to YouTube, and like my work schedule changed. Your shit started getting jacked around, and so
Yeah.
right now the YouTube is primarily just for the video version of this podcast. So it's kind of like a wash, rinse, repeat for that. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like do a fade in. I've been putting the Pro DNA ad at the end instead of the beginning to maybe help with retention, but I mean, who really gives a shit? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um,
Now to get some clarity on that, because like the YouTube was supposed to essentially be my baby, but when all this changing duty station stuff started, I was essentially supposed to be left alone. Right? They were like, you just do your own thing, you check in with us, blah 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 blah. And then they changed their mind at the last minute and then made a work schedule worse than what I had before everybody deployed to Europe. So that kind of, fucked that up. So
yeah,
like, and then moving, because like we were originally going to go to Korea, like we talked about before on the show. And if you go like outside the continental U.S., the army comes to your house and packs everything up for you. They send contractors to come pack everything up for you. So I didn't have to really do shit. Now that we're moving within the states, every time I change duty stations, I do what's called a Diddy move. You do it yourself, like you get paid to do it and everything. Like they give you like kind of like a truck driver, like a certain amount of money per mile and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And the weight of the truck, the moving truck, you get money off of. There's a weird formula that they do, but with that method, you got to pack it up yourself. So it took all of my fucking free time, man. Like I literally have no free time other than playing Battlefield like late at night with you and TC
Yeah,
on
and
most nights.
that's essentially how it's going for me. Like during the week lately, because my work schedule has picked slam up since January, the end of January. So like weekdays and weeknights are getting far and few in between for me to do anything because I get up at about anywhere between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me to you know take one of the kids, put them to sleep, get myself a shower, and pregame for the next day as far as packing, throwing my lunch together, laying clothes out and shit like that because I don't want to do all these things at 3 o'clock in the morning, and
Fuck no.
and then try to squeeze in any kind of like PlayStation time or I fucked up on this last episode we put out and we recorded that on a Sunday and I stayed up until I don't know 11:30 something like that 11:30 almost midnight throwing that thing together and trying to get it to upload and then was back up at like 3:30 4 o'clock and I'm pretty sure I sent in the group chat. I was like, "Fuck that, never again, never again." That was rough. I mean, I'm extremely grateful for the job that I have. It's been a dream of mine, and to be busy with it now is great. After being slow for the second half of the year last year, so yeah, things are looking good in that regard, and
Mhm.
I'm just what somebody said I saw it on Facebook or something one day. It was like what a blessing it is to be tired from work that you prayed for before. So I'm kind of like, yeah, try not to take it for granted and embrace the suck some days. Like today was not a great day for me, but at the end of the day, I made it back home in one piece and just it was just a long day. It wasn't a bad day, it was just a long day.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had a rush of like I don't know, like zen or something come over me on the way home. Like I was kind of aggravated because I'm like, damn, I should have been home 2 hours ago. And I was just listening to some music on the way home, and just kind of had this feeling come over me, like everything's all right. Like there's no reason for you to be tripping right now. Like you're good.
Yeah. I
So
get that from time to time.
yeah. So it's just kind of like a I don't know if like my
A
anxiety
good
let
epiphany.
yeah, my anxiety left the chat for a little bit. I don't know, but It's all
Yeah.
good. But I'm gonna stop rambling about that. This isn't a fucking life and philosophy podcast. This is a paintball podcast, and you're here for that, which we don't always do. Oh, what the fuck was that on for the YouTube? Yeah, that was creepy.
Highlight.
Yeah, that was creepy. That was like you look like the fucking the crypt keeper. Yeah.
No.
So nostalgic gear. I'm not real sure how I want to kick
Oh,
this off.
hold on.
Oh,
Time out.
Daniel,
Time
who are you
out.
talking
I
about?
just remember something. So, do you remember growing up? Do you remember the toy that mommy got for us? Or it was essentially for me. I think we both got one. I think maybe I got one, but it was like Tales from the Crypt doll.
Mm-hmm. I think
And
it
it
was
came with like a suit, whatever.
yeah.
But we've long gone, took it off. We drew stupid stuff on it. It showed like his naked body. Didn't have genitalia or anything, but like a Barbie
Yeah.
down there. But like, you remember the time like it just started going off on its own?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, like we hit it with like a baseball bat, and it
Yeah.
was still going off. It was fucked up. We ran outside and threw that bitch into the woods and
Do you-
ran, like, nope.
You remember where like you had gotten in trouble at school one day or something, and Tales from the Crypt was on TV, like, and we were just bullshitting in the living room,
Oh,
and the Crypt Keeper
God,
was
I
like,
know exactly.
ah, well, Daniel, have you learned your lesson? It was something to do with whatever was going on in the show, and you and I just looked at each other
Yeah.
and were like, no, change that, fuck that, no change. Yeah, that Crypt Keeper gives me fucking nightmares to this day, but you know, oh well.
Yep.
Back
Anyway,
to our
that
regular
popped in my mind.
schedule.
You
Yeah.
said Crypt Keeper, that just reminded me.
Regularly
Um,
scheduled program over here now.
Yeah. Um, but in regards of nostalgia, honestly, damn, I think I packed up my 888 paintball catalog.
Sorry. It don't fucking
Ah,
matter. Nobody.
No,
three
no, no.
people are gonna see it.
No, I wanted to read off some items like and prices to give
Mm.
like a comparison kind of thing. But yeah, man, it's like I look through that thing at least like once or twice a week. I saw it for sale on a BST like a year ago. That hey, $10, who wants it? And I was like, I'll take it. And, you know, I feel like this is a scam, but you know, you're like fuck it, $10. Oh, I've spent $10 on worse.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like
Which
I go through that
OnlyFans
just
did you subscribe to?
Ricky's.
Oh. pics.
Like yeah, but like I look through that thing like quite often, man, just because I remember back in the day, like every time we would ride with mom to town, we would have those magazines that I ordered off of the internet for us, or you call call this number to order your free catalog or whatever.
Yeah.
And like we would get those in the mail, and we would just look and look and look, and just wonder like, man, what would it be like to, you know, have this piece of gear or like own this mask, whatever, and then kind of slowly but surely, more me than you because I was older, started getting some of those things like the tournament pants, the Die Envision, the paintball jersey that said JT Paintball. You know, like everybody had to know I was a paintball player back then. But
Yeah.
it's like it's come leaps and bounds of like technology and like comfortability and stuff like that, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like because it just
man.
it's not the same. Like I saw Lennon that plays for the Ironmen. He had a 32 degrees jersey on. I was like, damn, dude. Because it was always about like the flames, 32 degrees, but it had flames on it and
Yeah.
everything. So he was rocking one of those, and I saw it on his Facebook post. I was like, God damn, that takes me back.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to comment on it too. I was like, dude, that's a great throwback, like a throwback.
Fun fact:
And,
I always hated 32 degrees.
I was never a big fan of them because it
hated
was
them.
always like deemed like the cheaper brand of like the paintball community. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
they had like the dumber barrels. They had like, but it appeased to like the rec players. You know,
I was
and,
JT or nothing back then.
I was whatever I could get my fucking hands on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I say it didn't
Like,
matter
loved
because I
it.
didn't have none of it, but you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
That
you
and the
know,
Die C4 stuff was like, oh my god! If you saw somebody with a Die C4 jersey and pants, oh god,
Yep.
it's like that's fucking top of the line back then. Well, how disappointing was it for you the first time you saw a pair of Die pants in person?
pretty disappointing.
I was so like flipped upside down because when you would look at these C4 and C5 pants online on like Action Village and just like you said, the 888 catalog, the knee pads looked like they were thick, like the JT tournament pant Kevlar pads. And then the fucking knee pads on the dye pants are just as thick or, thin or whatever as the pant themselves. And I'm like, oh man, like this isn't what I thought it was, like, but
No.
when I was younger, I was like, man, that's some bitch. You could probably walk on your knees for 100 miles in those pants, I used to work with some people at the paper mill that would love pants with thick knee pads, and those weren't it.
Oh my god.
Fucking bitches.
Same. You want this promotion?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Fuck the paper mill.
There was for nostalgic reasons, there was a jersey that, like, I put it in the chat for us. It was a blue Draxus jersey.
Trying to adjust
that this dude had for sale for $45.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take it just to have it, because we were always obsessed with those trauma style jerseys and everything, because they were definitely one of their own. They weren't like a typical, paintball, jersey.
To this day, it's my favorite jersey. Favorite jersey.
Same.
Favorite jersey. Favorite pants. The Traxxas, Jesus Christ. The Draxus trauma pants.
Talking like me now.
Yeah. Favorite pants.
Yeah, hands down. Even before I knew that Trauma was like a local team essentially for us, in the pro circuit, like, I was like, oh, it says Baltimore Trauma. They're from Baltimore. Like, I didn't know better. I was new to the sport. So
the Boston Red Legion's from Boston. Blitz! So anyways, that was a fucking lie.
But like right there I was a fan, and then like I didn't really see profilers until like later when we started getting more serious. I saw like the V-Force Morph. Wasn't a fan of those.
No.
It was always like the Proflex or either the Dye Envisions. Like that. Those were my two favorite. And the way that Dye had like the fades in their like frames.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking cool. That's unique. Yada yada yada. I didn't want a solid color like what the Flexes had. So that's why I went that route. And it was just like a different time, because all these like catalogs and stuff, you didn't have the fucking internet at your hands. I'm holding up a phone here for those who can't see. You can't just go back in the day. You just couldn't get online to look at a paintball video, look at a paintball website and stuff like that. You had to basically kind of like wonder, you know what I mean? Like the whole what if factor of, if I got this, would it work for that? Like is it actually as durable as the ad says it is, and stuff like that. And I guess, like, to me, I don't know if it's because I'm older and I could literally buy almost any piece of gear I want. Well, like modern gear, I can absolutely. It lost its wow factor. You know what I mean? Because like the wonder's not there no more. So
it's different now.
It's
So,
different.
it's so different.
It's
now.
so different. Like I still have it for like most of these guns that I would like drool over back in the day. I'm not gonna say gawk over no more.
But don't do that.
Yeah. Learned my lesson on that one. But it's like I know what a DM6 feels like in the hands. You know what I mean? I know what a DM4, a Dynasty Shocker, like I know what all those guns feel like in my hands, but having adult money, I could, if I want one, I can go get one. Just like hence how I just picked up that Vicious CSL, that Dye DM7 with the skull camo on there. Like it takes me back, and it kind of gives me like a it's more than nostalgic, kind of like almost like a sad feeling when I'm able to just buy this stuff. And it's like, damn, like I used to sometimes be like legit fucking depressed at myself because I couldn't afford this piece of gear back in the day. I had to watch everybody else enjoy it while I had a fucking Ion or a fucking Proto Rail that I traded.
Yeah.
You know?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I don't want to get back into that. I want that. So I want to leave that in the past.
Yeah.
I know.
No, we're talking about nostalgia.
Yeah.
But
But
I got
you know what I mean?
I got all my shit sitting back here. I actually came in here the other day and was half-ass straightening up because my 5-year-old and my wife have completely just ransacked this fucking room. Um, I got a ton of baby clothes behind me that we're going through. So this room has not been a very enjoyable sitting place, in like the last
Yeah.
2 weeks. But I came in here the other day, was half-ass straightening up while I had some free time, and I got like 4 or 5 guns just sitting on the floor over there. Like my DM6 is on the floor. There's a fucking Phoenix on the floor back there, and I think the Shocker might be on the floor. The damn Carnivore is just chilling right here behind me, and there's a couple masks, kind of in array. And I thought to myself, like, back when we were younger, and I was really into this thing, and I had my eye on, I would walk through the house all day and night with my ion in my hand, just clicking the trigger because I was
Yep.
obsessed with it. When I got to DM6, it was even worse. I'd sit on the couch and watch TV and just click the trigger on my DM6 and swap hands and then click it with my left hand. And um, it's so weird to think about, like, making adult money now. Like, I have 3, 6, 9, 12. There's probably 15 guns back there. I think, and every one of them that's up there is something that I really wanted when I was younger.
It tells a story.
Outside of like the G3 that you bought me, the Lux is kind of a different thing. That was something I got for myself, but like everything else is older guns. Um, 05, 06, 08 Ego, SL74, SFT Shocker, a Nerve, just older as shit that came up for sale, and I'm like, hey, I always wanted one of those. Why not? And
Yeah.
to think about how obsessed I was with just one DM6 or one Ion or whatever, even your guns, that American Flag '08 Ego, I'd grab that bitch and just sit in the damn. I was obsessed with that because I loved Egos. And I
Mm-hmm.
come in here and it was messing around the other day, and I'm like, golly, I haven't even come in here and looked at these guns in like a week and a half or 2 weeks, or none of my masks. I got so many masks and shit down there. I sat down a little while ago because on my bottom shelf it's just mask parts. Um, in my closet over here is a whole fucking tote of just mask parts. But like I got some Lucy's down there, like a bunch of unopened 33 thread straps and stuff like that. And I just sat down. I was like, damn, I forgot I had this. Damn, I forgot I had this. Damn, I forgot I had this. Like, holy shit, I got 2 of
Same.
these. Yeah, and I'm like, why do I do this? Like, I'm so stupid. But, back when I was younger, I would have killed for something like this. And um,
Yeah.
I've slowed way down on my paintball gear stuff. Like I have jerseys in this closet. I got 2 totes full of shit in this closet. I got a corner full of shit back here. I got a fucking carnivore. I just want to throw that out there. I got a fucking carnivore sitting, right. But
You
that's
proud of that one, huh?
that's my holy grail. That back there, that is my holy grail. But
You paid a holy price for that motherfucker too.
I paid average market value for it at the time. They were going anywhere. They were going from $1,300 to $1,800 for a pristine, and I paid $15 for that one. So I'm proud of that. I don't give a fuck.
It's still good. It's still good. You
1,500.
got the one that you were chasing after, so I mean, it's a plus.
15. My only gripe is that it doesn't have a yellow ASA. That's my only gripe. So I might get one, but I don't. At this point, I don't give a shit. But
Yeah.
So looking at those guns and things like that, and just thinking, damn, I would have loved all of these because every one of those guns, with the exception of like 3, are old, and guns that I looked at in the magazines like 888 and online action. That black and blue DM4 that I got from Dylan, that was you and Lee. You and TC were talking about the Bob Long Timmies, and you were obsessed with the Dynasty Shocker and shit. Like, you have your Dynasty Shocker. I have my fucking black to blue fade DM4. Like, I was obsessed with that gun when I was like 10 and 11. That's not my Dynasty Shocker per se, Neither is Carnivore. I'd say probably the Empire Timmy would be that for me.
I
Because
thought I saw one of those for sale.
somebody had one recently, and it was priced pretty well.
I didn't see the price, but this was a group started by Lone Wolf Paintball. It's like Rate My Gear.
Yeah.
This dude had like old Timmys and stuff, and I saw the black to gray Fate Empire
Mm.
Timmy. I was like, "Oh, what do you got? What do you got? Like,
Yeah.
gimme.
There's a dude that's got
But
a black to red Alias for sale. It's all original for $650 right now, and I'm like, oh man, I don't.
650, does it work?
I guess, but it's like all original
Mm,
box and everything, and I'm like, man, I would give you like $550 for it shipped right
I'd give
now.
him 400, but for Alias, I'd give him 400. But so when we play Battlefield, right? My setup really doesn't change for what people would see on episodes through YouTube from our podcast, where I have like a gun like right here
Yeah,
to my right. When we'll be like waiting on a loading screen or whatever, I'll grab a gun and just sit there, play with it, look at it, and be like, damn, like it took this fucking long to get you, but I got you. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
Um, like there's plenty of trades and stuff that I just kick myself in the fucking dick for doing so, but um it hasn't been like an easy road to get to it, but like I'm definitely happy where I'm at now because all the guns that I would have on my little shelf behind me, uh, on the like the 3D printed stands and everything that I got,
mm-hmm.
I would like every day I would at least pick one of those up and just hold it, roll the trigger a little bit, turn it around. If I got a battery in it, I'll turn it on. Like especially like the Dynasty Shocker, I'll put a battery in there just to hear that chirp. The
Yeah,
psst, psst. Like you know what I mean? Like I can't. If you know, you know.
oh yeah,
But like even with I saw Alec and his new i3s that he bought that they
yeah.
just released. He had the all black ones, and it like I was like, damn, like this actually kind of takes me back. I still have
Oh, excuse me.
these, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah,
you can barely kind of see them. But it ain't the same. Like I still have my frames from my original Envisions and stuff like that, but it it's just not the same. I don't
let's.
go to like my Proflex that I have built and pick those up like I pick up a gun.
I want to talk about that a little bit. It's because it's nostalgia driven. Um, Die re-released the i3s, and I think they did a phenomenal job. They listened to the player base. Everybody's been talking forever about how they want i3s again. They want i3s. Um, they came out with some minimal colorways right off the rip. Um, and I know that they're gonna extend that. Like there's no way they don't. And then they just released new lenses too. Like this week or last week, they finally released the lens
Hmm.
options, and shout out to them for that, because for a long time people were talking about, let's do something with the ProFlex, let's do, and I was like, all right, cool, here's another printed bottom, and we're like, no, we don't want that, we don't want that. Last year was an interesting year for the ProFlex between all the birthstones, Hormesis coming out with their own bottoms, um, the re-release of Clears, the Hydra came out with their new mold and everything. It was a crazy year for the Flex, and I'm glad that went in a better direction than it was, because all of these just printed, like the Cash Money bottoms were fucking god awful, terrible. It had like the Benjamins on the skirt. Like what is that bullshit?
Gross.
What is that bullshit?
Gross, gross.
And excuse me. And
Whoever like approved that in quality control, like, yeah, that looks good, should be hit by
yeah.
a fucking
Yeah,
bus.
who the fuck looked at that and was like, "You know what? That's it. They're going to love it. Just do it right now." Billy Saransky's probably looking at the fucking podcast right now like, I did. No, I was playing. But no,
No, the fuck he ain't.
yeah, no, hell no. But the new i3s, dude, I want a set. I want a pair. I'm kind of holding out to see if they do the white. A lot, i3s don't fit my face that well, but I'm gonna see, like, if they don't do white soon, I'll probably just get a black set and with like a blue lens or something. Um,
Hmm.
I
You
kind
could
of like.
always buy my white frame,
Yeah, I could. Um,
or trade me your red JT thins for them.
no, no. I'm good. No,
Fuck.
you'd have to give me like 5 i3s for those. But
Jesus.
yeah. Um, yeah. I had more things I wanted to say about it, but I'm kind of scatterbrained now. But I think it's a great step in the right direction for that. Also, with that being said, we can't just fucking re-release old shit all the time. Like
Yeah.
we've got to come up with something different. Like Empire was like, "Oh, these are the new events," and it's just a fucking stiff ass E-Flex. And I'm like,
That was, and they tried to sell it to us at Cup that year too.
yeah, I was like, I
Like,
don't want this shit. Fuck you.
yeah, we both looked and we were like,
Hmm,
really? And we're
no.
like, nah. Like, you're good, and we just put it back, and we like
Yeah,
later.
I don't want that shit. I will say, if they did re-release the original events with the soft ears, I would probably buy a
I
pair.
would 1000% buy a pair.
I
of
would
those.
buy a pair. You would sucker me right in. I'd be like,
Yep.
listen, we need to make new shit, and they'd be like, all right, I hear you, but here's this old mask reimagined. I'm like, you know what, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
I'm gonna
take
buy
two.
this.
Yeah.
After this, you need to release new stuff.
Yeah. Also, we're going back to the old logo. All right, cool. I'll take a jersey now.
Like, fuck.
Why the fuck did Empire go
Shut
away
up and
from that
take my
logo?
money.
Yeah, that was stupid. Though. Here's an E Empire. You fuck didn't give a shit. Go back to the old fucking tribal looking logo. That thing was so cool. I used to draw it all the time. But yeah. So I mean, not to just sit here and beat that dead horse, but I am excited for the re-release of the i3s. I think it's a great way to listen to your fan base. Just capitalize on that. Keep up with the colorways, but don't overdo it. Like, don't burst on it. GI's trying to burst on the Profiler 2.0s as if the original ones weren't fucking ugly enough. That it's such a double-sided coin for me on that, because here I am saying like, hey, we don't need old
Not a
shit
fan.
all the time. But I'm just like, y'all should have fucking left that alone, because that is terrible. At least it takes the same lens, so now they have no choice but to keep making new lenses for that mask, and you can put them in your old Profiler.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking good thing about it. They must be so shitty. None of the pro teams are wearing them. None of the GI pro teams are wearing them. So fuck y'all. That's dumb. And they're like, hey, we got clears, and dude, that hype is dead. We don't give a fuck. Keep them. I will pay you. I will pay you to not advertise those bitches on my algorithm. Oh man.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like what, like throwback piece of gear that you would want from our heyday. Like, what would you want back? And I think your answer would probably be the events, especially for a mask, because they already brought back the i3s, right?
Yeah.
You're not a fan of the i4s. The i4s really ain't all that throwback from what we're talking about.
I fucking hate i4s. Yeah,
I loved mine.
I think that if we're talking about masks, because really, the flex, even the new flexes aren't that derivative from an original flex. Of course, well, the side vents are vertical. I fucking know, but you can look at it from 20 miles away and be like, oh, that's a Pro Flex.
Yep.
Yeah, I would like to see the events. I had this written down. Well, I had the question written down, like, what would you bring back, and I never filled it in. One thing I would say I would like to see back, if nostalgia sells, not necessarily a re-release of anything, and we've seen a little bit more in the recent years than I feel like we have prior, like 2017 to 21, maybe something like that. But I would just like to see cool marker milling. Look at the fucking guns from back in our heyday. Dynasty Shocker.
Dude.
Every Timmy known to man had fucking amazing milling.
Yep.
Die guns, the DM4. I mean, it was a sleek, because when the DM4 came out, what was before it? A fucking shoebox, just like the Shockers. The Shockers went from the biggest goddamn gun on the market to the smallest gun in a matter of a generation change. Yeah. But, just all of these guns looked great. And now you see, like, if I'm spectating, I see a player run down the field, with a Intimidator. I'm like, hey, he's got a Bob Long, Timmy. Some dude runs down with a fucking Planet Eclipse gun. I don't know if it's a goddamn R5, G3, G04. And I have no fucking idea what it is because they all look the same to me. Now you put them side by side, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that is. I know what that is. Like I'm not that fucking stupid, but it's just I just feel like we lack a little bit there. But also, how can you do that when the goal is to make light markers? If you want cool milling, you have to have heavier markers because you have to have more material to mill down. Like I understand that, but
Mm-hmm.
I loved the uniqueness of the old school markers, and how one thing I would love to bring back, which you couldn't do it now because the markers are so locked in off the shelf. But I miss individual customization parts, feed necks,
That was going to be my answer.
hybrid
Yep.
grips, regs. Even though I fucking hated the Pocket Rocket CP regs, um, you can still do triggers, things like that. But I miss the customization because it was just like look at my Ion. The Ion is probably one of the most customizable markers ever.
Yeah.
And you could look at that thing from a mile away, lay it on a fucking table from here to goddamn Timbuktu, and you'd be like, that's PJ's gun. It was very recognizable. Yeah.
Your marker back in the day was part of your personality because you were able to make it yours. You know what I mean? Like now, if you want to do that, you have to get like a certain anno,
Yeah.
or you have to buy like a dye gun. Like if you're a fan of dye, you have to get one that's like kind of like the printed or whatever. Like but like Planet Eclipse does the same thing. It's either a printed gun with a printed graphics or a customized anode gun. But back in the day, you could buy like let's say we had like the Ego 7. They had like Killer Products. Remember that where they had like the eye covers, like the sleek eye covers and stuff like
Yep.
that. You could buy a kit like that and be like, oh shit, there goes Daniel, there goes Lee, there goes whoever. You can't really do that with just a marker nowadays unless you take like the extra steps to making it yours. Like you still did it back in the day, but it wasn't like hundreds of dollars to get it anodized to make it, custom.
Oh yeah. You would
And it kind
spend
of sucks.
you could spend like $150 between feed neck, grips, different ASA or something like that, and then
Yep.
there you
A
go.
reg upgrade, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, like
I tell you what is cool is the guy that is like bankrolling the Hurricanes now. He bought or is buying the Contract Killer name, so they're revamping that. And I'm like, dude, let's make
hopefully,
let's make
hopefully they
grips
put
again.
out something.
Yeah, let's make grips
Please.
again. Those hybrid grips are my favorite.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually looking out for several pair of hybrid grips for the UL frame
Yeah.
because I'm gonna put some on the skulls. I'm gonna put uh, a set on Lee's DM9, and his PM7. Like both of his guns, I'm gonna rebuild. I already rebuilt his DM9 for him.
Yeah.
He just needs new grips, and then I'm gonna rebuild his PM7 for him. But I have some DM markers that have the UL frame that I want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I have Contract Killer grips for my Dark Nexus, like the Dark Trooper or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like it says East Coast Killers on it, but like it feels weird on the Ego. I like it more on the UL frame, but I still got them because that was part of our thing back in the day, and it
Yeah.
was a nostalgia thing for us because CK Mafia, all the other shit that we had going on for us. I think it's very limited to like customization when it comes to yourself as a player because you could always go pick out your favorite Hormesis headband. You pick out your favorite colored Proflex like frame color. Like you could build a Proflex to give yourself your personality and how you wear your apparel, like whatever your style is. But now with the marker, you're limited because straight out of the box, you don't really need shit. You know what I mean? Like,
which I mean isn't
back in the day,
isn't necessarily a bad thing
yeah,
because
I'm not knocking it 100%. You know what I mean? It's just not like how it used to be.
you don't quite get the personalization of it, but like
Yeah.
just just exactly like you said, you have to use like ano for that. Look at Joe Barrett's got a his Field One force. It's a fucking avocado force. You spot that thing, across the venue. That's Joe. If they're all wearing
Yep.
black ProFlex, Dynasty jersey, the same joggers, everything, headgear, but you see that green, the super dark green or black, whatever fade it is, that's Joe Barrett. When the ESPN thing came about, I want to say I had read or heard on a podcast somewhere, maybe played a game. Don't quote me on this, but somebody from the ESPN or videographer had made the comment like, "Hey, like we need like everybody to wear like the same mask, like kind of like football helmets. Like everybody's got the same helmet or whatever." And I thought that was a fucking terrible idea because I'm like, at that point,
Why would you do that?
for uniformity, I guess. And I was like, that's a terrible idea because then at that point,
That's what the jerseys. That's what the jerseys are for.
the only point, I mean, the only thing you have at that point is if everybody has to wear the same, like everybody has to wear a black ProFlex, or everybody has to wear a black RMX or whatever. He just tried to call me. I don't know who that was. Huh.
It was Joey B. Hey, watch your mouth.
Yeah. I know, might have been Miss Renee. That was weird.
What?
Yeah. Anyways, it rang once and immediately hung up. Oh, I didn't mean to call her back. Damn it. Oh well. We'll see.
Hello.
Yeah. Here. If it's important, she'll call back.
Yeah.
I guess. Like I said, it rang once and hung up. Anyways, I was a little concerning. Fucking 10:17 at night, but let's see. Make sure she ain't texting me. No text. Okay, I'm leaving all this in. By the way, I don't give a shit. It's my show.
That's fine.
It's my show. What was I saying? Oh,
How you were giving me carnivore?
yes. So you could have it for the small price of suck my ass. So, if everybody has to wear the same mask, then your only personalization outside of your name and number is your headgear and your marker ano, and that's it. Because you're not
Yep.
you're not rocking a Halo
Or your
2.
cleats.
Yeah, your
Like, you
cleats.
could do
Yeah,
your
your cleats. Lee
He had that for a while. He
Yeah.
had the ugliest fucking green, like lime green,
I was
Nike
I was
cleats.
with him when he bought those from Dick's. I was like,
Ugh, Lee.
why would you want those? He goes, I like these, and I'm like, okay, I don't care.
Of course you do.
Yeah, whatever, dude. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I didn't like that idea. So, what you asked me about bringing back something or whatever. What's yours outside of the parts?
It was. Oh shit. Okay, so like an individual item.
Yeah, let's say that.
Uh,
Because I kind of
Man,
said cool milling, which was a group thing for me, and then we kind of hit the events as like a singular item.
yeah. Damn, dude, we're pretty much on the same fucking page because we both grew up obsessed with like the same shit for the most part.
Yeah. I'm listening, but I'm gonna look at something on my phone.
Events,
Real
like,
quick.
I'm trying to think. Events is definitely up there. For me, it's really hard to bring it down to like one particular item because most of the items that I wish they would have brought back or that I could get my hands on again were markers, and I have almost every single one that I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a tough question for me because I don't really have that big of a desire for a single item. It's more of like a brand,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like I were talking about like the contract killer stuff. I really really wish that Freiji and Field One and all them would listen to my idea about G6R, and because how they brought back the Dragon and then like the D cut and stuff like that on the old Timmys. It's the Timmy and the G6R. It's the same style. It's a stack body. You can do the same and not anodes, Jesus Christ, milling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would just be a little bit smaller. Like, dude, like if they made an A bomb G6R, like don't
Oh my god, they
Uh,
would sell out. They would sell out immediately.
immediately, like just like they have like the Dynasty Waffle Force, those sold out pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
Then they had the Dragon Force, those sold out pretty
I
fucking quick.
wonder. I wonder
Um,
though, because that's they can use the Force platform for that. But if you do something like a G7R or whatever, I wonder how much the production cost would be for because that's a completely blank slate. Start over type shit.
yeah, I wouldn't necessarily try like if it was me because I already have like schematics and engineering and stuff already, proven to work with the G6R.
Yeah.
So you already have an idea of what it costs to make a G6R. Now you just have to get the bodies made. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because like you know what the front half of a G6R is, because most of the front half they're all the same unless it's like a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then they would have to do the same thing for like the alien species and stuff. But like it was the same head, I think. I
Yeah.
think it
I
was a
I
dragon,
have no
and
idea, so I can't speak on it.
I'd have to look back. I think,
There's
but
probably a
either way, it was close.
There's probably a gunsmith watching, like screaming at us, like "You fucking idiots! Y'all have no idea." So I'm not even gonna pretend like
Yeah,
I know.
I don't know, man. I got a pretty decent understanding about that. It's just like the design, like if they did the Empire, like now they probably couldn't do the Empire Timmy because of like copyright stuff like
They'd have to
that.
put that
But
fucking dumbass E on it instead of the
no,
like, nah, don't do that. That's
no,
terrible.
excuse me. But like that would probably be mine. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Because they brought back all that stuff, but the the cosmetics of like the Timmy back in the day, like the Ripper, like just all
unmatched.
like the milling was just like yeah, without a doubt. But it was so like catchy. It was like aggressive, and like like you knew that you had a Timmy right there, just like how we were talking about earlier. The dude's, a P team runs down the field. Was that a G3? Was that a R5? Was that a CS3
Yeah,
Pro? Like, but like,
great markers, by the way. Like, I'm not knocking
yeah,
PE.
I'm not knocking them. I love my
Yeah,
CS3.
not
Um,
not knocking PE by any means, but I'm just like they all look kind of the same. But
but like what Price said on one of our episodes, what more can you do?
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
well,
like
we
that's
used to
the hard
ask
part.
we used to ask the same thing. When they made a fucking DM4, like, oh, where do we go from here? And golly, boy, we had a
Yeah,
long,
but
long road
like
ahead of us.
I remember, I remember Jim Ivy and Price and A Hole actually talking at Liberty one afternoon. How they were saying like they need to mill this down. Like this is just like stacked metal for no reason, and they just and sure as shit. Like after the DM5, the DM6, they milled down every fucking thing, and they're
Yeah,
like, oh shit, you know.
yeah, it's crazy how
But
that works.
I I'm trying to go back to your question.
Oh yeah,
I don't think I have a single item. It would just have to be the general idea of the milling. And the only way to technically do that with what we have today would be the G6R and milling the bodies that way to have a new G6R.
yeah. One thing I want to touch on before I move on is how I was praising Die for bringing back the i3s. Um, and I was kind of shitting on GI a little bit about the ProFlex, but I give the ProFlex to flowers. Like I have a couple of unopened GIs in the box, like the first
Same.
clears. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got those
I got
smokes from
3 right
you.
here.
Yeah, I got those smokes from you. Whatever. Um, you keep disappearing. It's hilarious.
Sorry.
But what I was just thinking. We were talking about old jerseys and stuff. JT did come back with the old jersey, the barbed wire, the bubble. Yeah, with just a good old white background back there.
Yeah.
Just imagine there's a Pro DNA banner. But they did re-release these jerseys, and I'm like, that's a cool throwback because
I loved that, man, because
yeah,
if I want to get a barbed wire jersey, I could just go order one
yeah,
or
yeah.
the shield and stuff like that.
I would have to order a barbed wire jersey because there's no fucking way on this planet I'm ever fitting into mine again. I think mine's a large. It was small. I would rip that bitch with my fucking nipple.
Like Chris Farley.
Yeah, fat guy in a little jersey. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's hit the other side of that coin. What's one thing that you're glad didn't make it this far?
Torque loader.
Oh yeah, Torque was fucking trash, dude. I hated that
Fuck a
shit.
torque.
Hated that shit.
That put my paintball career on hold for like 6 goddamn months because mine. I remember my Halo got broke, like fucked up, and then we got sponsored by Torque Loaders. Paid them $25. They gave us 2 fucking hoppers. So I was like, all right, cool. And then now I know why. But the
Junk.
ball bearings, yeah, the cone, the drive cone in there had a shit ton of small, and I mean small ball bearings. And I was shooting and I heard I was like, yo, what the fuck? And I saw sparks like come out of my barrel. Like, am I shooting a real fucking gun right now? The drive cone shit itself and the ball bearings fell into the fucking paintball marker and was shooting it out.
Imagine if
And
that
that's
thing
what
would have propelled into somebody's temple.
bro. But yeah, it was
like
fucking,
the Call of Duty elimination.
was- it was bad, dude. God almighty, it was bad. Like that's one product that I had it fucking failed.
yeah.
I wasn't really a fan of the pulse loader either. The Draxus Pulse. Like-
Dude gets hit with a ball bearing.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck me. That was
And
funny.
then you get a lawsuit.
Yeah, oh my god. That was hilarious. Dude, you can actually do the whole fucking thing right here. Just
Bruh.
good old fucking Center 50 soundboard fun.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
shit. Oh, Jesus. Just fucking run through all of them. Jesus Christ. But,
Holy-
yeah, that's funny that you say that because I have a loader on mine too.
The egg?
No, I actually like the egg. The fucking warp feed that was like beside your gun.
Oh yeah. That or the Q loader.
Is that what
That
it
shit-
was? Yeah, that shit was god
There's
awful.
2 of them now.
The one that
One
was
the warp feed
with the
was
big
like a fucking box that go on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
terrible. Fucking
The Q
terrible.
loader would be like, like the water gun off of like Call of Duty and shit.
Yeah.
Had like the fucking canister under there. It was like this
Yeah,
under your
that was
barrel.
yeah, that was awful too. I'm so glad none of
Yeah.
that shit made its way into the future.
Thank you, paintball
Yeah.
Jesus.
Future.
Ow.
God awful, fucking terrible. I'd never even seen one in person. I'm thank God because I'd probably be scarred to this day. But I'm glad that's not a thing. Like you know,
Yeah.
you hear people going, "Well, what's the future for paintball? What's the future for paintball?" And I'm like, dude, I think we need to just kind of stick with the status quo. You know, just fucking shoulder your tank, put your fucking hopper on top of your gun, and just let it be. I don't need
Yeah.
a fucking remote air tank like I'm playing a scenario, you know, with a hose to my ASA. I don't need a damn hopper mounted to the side of my gun. None of that shit. So, yeah, I'm so glad that bullshit didn't make it into 2026.
Yeah, no
I'm glad it
fucking
didn't make it out of the early aughts.
Yeah, no thank you, man. That shit
Yeah.
I've never for one fucking second thought that shit was cool when I saw it in the magazine. I was like, what the fuck is
I don't think
this shit?
anybody did except scenario guys. I think Bob Long.
Except for the people that used it.
Yeah, Bob Long. There was a picture of Bob Long ripping one, and I guess it was like the fucking bee's knees to keep up with how fast those guns would shoot. I missed a bring back. This wouldn't be nothing to do for PE. The gauntlet gloves and the old arm pads together.
Yeah.
They should bring those back.
Dude, those arm pads, the first what were they called? Distortions?
Yeah.
Dude, holy shit. Those were like amazing.
I wore yours
God,
all
dude.
the time. When you went
Yeah,
on your
dude.
little hiatus chasing that bitch, and I would go with Lee all the time, I'd be like, look, hey, Daniel's not playing this weekend, so cool. I got these sweet ass gauntlet gloves. I got these sweet ass pads. I wear this
Yeah.
jersey that I can, I can't fit the same shirt as you since fucking 15 years ago, but back then I could wear your jersey, So, yeah, I forgot that I'd actually written that down. Those were sweet. I like the distortion pants too, and they actually had a set at Cup, that were very similar. don't remember. I don't know if they were. I think they were JTs maybe. Remember we saw those?
Those were in the Eclipse tent.
Okay,
dude.
yeah. So they were very close
Yeah.
to. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this kind of reminds me of the OG because Lee rocked the distortion pants for a long time.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, those and those red protos. Oh my god, he wore the fuck out those proto pants forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They put some miles on those motherfuckers.
Hell yeah.
I honestly kind of miss those style pants.
Like baggy pants with big knee pads.
Like no. Like, so not the distortions. I don't really. At first, I liked them, especially when we played at ACP. When we like those hidden rocks would fucking show up
Oh,
out of
yeah.
nowhere. Typical paintball shit. I don't really miss those, but like the protos and everything, like that style, I missed that because they weren't like super duper fucking baggy like the JT team pants were and
yeah.
everything, but they were form fitting, and they weren't joggers.
I miss those pants. Here's my thing. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but pants now are extremely fucking boring. And
Yeah,
the people they look like scrubs. They look like scrub bottoms. And people try to, like, let's just say JT just released some joggers and they tried to put a little bit of character into them, and they don't look that great. They're kind of loud in the wrong reasons. If you look back at those,
Yeah.
just the Dye C6 and the proto pants around that same time, the JT team pants, they were kind of loud. You had everybody had the bright pink ones. You had the massive the massive JT logo on the thigh. I actually have two pairs. I have a red pristine pair that I've played in before. But like what was that noise? It sounded like you just racked a fucking round. Oh,
I was measuring myself.
Jesus Christ! Why is there a mark on 2.5? Hey, I'm a grower, not a shower. Okay, we just wait till I get to 3. If the bitch wants 6, she's gonna have to get it twice. But
That's why it pays to watch the YouTube.
yeah, hell yeah. But the pants now are just fucking boring. Like I've looked through any and every jogger. I'm like, I need to get like a newer style pant. And the only thing that I've found that I've liked are the Pro DNA ones with the Kevlar knees, just because they're somewhat similar to the old JTs. I don't want just a fucking black pant from waistband to ankle band. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's boring as shit.
It is. It really is. I think that some of these companies need to kind of go back to the more, I don't want to say milling, but like I guess you could say like the mold. I don't know what for a pair of pants and shit like that.
No.
But do you remember the Dye tactical pants?
Mm-hmm.
By chance? So you remember like how the waist, like it had like ridges and shit like that, kind of like how like the Draxus pants were.
Yeah.
I think Pro DNA should do something like that and have like the infamous logo,
Yeah.
not necessarily like a spitting image of just copy and paste and put fucking infamous or Pro DNA on it, but something like that. Something that speaks to character. It's not, something crazy, but also the modern day player now, they want less material, less weight. You know what I mean?
I
When
understand
joggers
that.
are a big fucking thing. I get it.
I
like I'm
understand
not knocking it 100%, but it's just like, damn, it would kind of be nice, to just have what we used to have to an extent.
Like I
just
get it.
mold it to what it needs to be today.
I get it. We went out and played at Hoppers one weekend, and it was like 150 degrees, and I wore those big Draxus pants and a fucking black long sleeve. I was so hot, like, I get it. A pro athlete in joggers, it makes fucking multiple millions of cents for them to wear, super lightweight pants and all that.
Yeah.
I would eat, like, I don't even care about the material. Like, I'll wear it. I used to say hell no. Like, I would wear a jogger, like the right jogger. I just haven't really seen none that I like. Because, like the Hydro joggers, they just look like fucking sweatpants. You know what I mean?
I don't like those.
No, they look like sweat. They're probably super comfortable. I'm not knocking them. Like, I like
because they're sweatpants.
yeah, I mean, Jesus, I don't know, but
not saying it just because we're sponsored by Pro DNA, but their joggers are actually pretty fucking nice.
yeah,
Like-
we're missing the flair. Like jerseys look good. People make nice
Mhm.
jerseys now. You got fucking sweet headgear. But the pants are just lacking in personality, I feel like. But people probably don't see it the same way we do. Like it's probably, like on a pro level, it probably does seem more professional to have like low key, not a whole lot going on the pants because you want to focus on like the profile of the player. Like I get that, but I'm just kind of I'm just so
Right.
stuck in my ways from the old days where I'm like, that's boring. Just fucking black Sketcher scrubs. I'm just no. I'm not fucking Grey's Anatomy. Okay, I'm playing paintball. I don't wear scrubs. Next thing you know, I'm gonna wear On Clouds too. I mean, what the fuck? And I'm gonna be drinking a goddamn Starbies at the start box because I'm wearing scrub pants to play paintball in.
Oh God, what's that?
My wife
fucking
wears
meme
scrubs.
that
I'm
we
about to get fucking killed.
put?
Did you just fucking stereotype me?
Hunter, or is it Aiden is my world?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm fucking run off talking about.
and you give shit on me about with the fucking soundboard.
I went so long without using it
Yeah.
because I didn't have my makeshift second monitor over here. One of these days, dude, I'm off topic. Little sidebar here. I think I said this on the last or the episode before. My goal during our break was to redo this entire setup, and I was going to turn everything this way so that I could be against the wall like yourself and have a banner and maybe display shit. And I wanted the new desk where I can do side by side dual monitors, not this fucking 90-degree shit where I have to like lean back, turn my whole body. And
You turn like the fucking Michael Keaton. Or,
yeah, Batman can't move his neck. Batman can't move his neck. but I had intended on redoing all of this shit. Like I was like, all right,
Yeah.
because this monitor is old as fuck. Like I have a half-ass decent curved Samsung monitor that's pretty good, and this one's just like a fucking 180p that I had in the closet, and I'm like, well, I'll use this for kind of like my interface. And like it's not meant to be on screen, but I'm out of room over here, so like y'all see what the fuck's going on the YouTube, 8 viewers on YouTube. But I didn't do anything, and I hate it. So, and then I was gonna retire the old mic with my new, because the way I got it set up right now, there's no fucking way unless I'm able to use this boom stand that I can use that mic you give me. There you go. Okay, well, if I can connect it to my boom stand, then I probably will. But I wanted to just I wanted to have enough room where I could just set the bitch up right here in front of me, type shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't do any of that. So maybe I'm clinically depressed because I didn't have any interest in doing any of this shit.
maybe.
Maybe so.
All
right, sidebar.
I gotta go through my turn for the sidebar. When we get to the new house, already got the room picked out when I'm gonna turn into my man cave, but I figure out exactly how am I gonna, like, which corner am I gonna fucking get, because I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put that banner back up, the backdrop, all that stuff. I'm gonna redo all
Yeah.
that. I wish, in regards of nostalgia, I wish they wouldn't have, like, I understand the reason behind it, but I feel like they probably could have came up with something different. But the new Halo, how it comes apart top way, I don't like it because I was gonna go get one, but I was like, no, I would rather have,
I don't like that.
But I
See,
understand
I like it like the old Suicide shells.
well, but yeah, but I'm saying like the shell design, because it doesn't look like a Halo to me.
Yeah.
Because like I was gonna try to bring in the this whole contract killer coming back. I was like, so maybe if they bring back the hybrid shell, that'd be dope.
That'd be sweet
just
as
put the-
fuck, dude.
I would run it because they had the low feed neck and it had like double dip on the top of which
Yeah.
color you wanted to do and stuff like that.
And
But
then, and then I would do my garbage disposal speed feed.
oh my god, get the fucking fins on top.
Dude, my yellow Halo is at Mom and Dad's, I think, that I got from Price, and it's got that big ass original speed feed. You have it?
No, I'm honestly trying to think if I seen it. I don't think I've seen it there, man.
I think it's there. I don't know. I never grabbed it. So you probably fucking
maybe
traded
it's
it.
on a shelf behind a picture. No, I never touched that fucking thing.
You traded it. You
I
you
think it
piece
might
of
be behind
fucking
a
shit.
picture. No.
I threw your picture away.
Uh,
Sat
Um,
down and cried today.
all right, please stop.
I don't
Don't
remember
quit
the
your
rest.
truck driving job.
I don't remember the
Good.
rest of the words, or I would keep going.
Um, damn, I'm trying to think. Honestly, you know what? On one item, I wish they would bring back, and I know it'll never fucking probably be back. Picture catalogs, like the 888 stuff and stuff like
There's
that. You know what I mean?
no fucking
I know
chance
it's
in
not.
hell
I
they
know
would
it's not.
ever do that.
I know it's not, but like I just wish something like that would come back just for pure nostalgia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would probably have to be mine because I pretty much have everything else that I've wanted back in the day.
Yeah.
So, like, unless they bring back a more modernized Revolution hopper, maybe
They did.
for like mechanical.
The Revies?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know, maybe like upgraded, but like the same shell design strictly for nostalgia. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a Revy. Is it a Revy 2? They need to fucking redo the egg with a more structured feed neck. What a fucking ugly ass loader, but I love those things, dude. I loved them so much. But goddamn, they were just all of the weight was on the back. Like where did that design idea come from? Who at Viewloader was like, this is it? Like this
I don't know,
this
but,
is
like,
the way of the
like,
fucking world.
80% of like heroes of a day or heroes for a day, the excessive story is the players diving, turning their hopper back the right way. Like if you
Yeah.
look at like the MPPL when Rusty Glaze was playing from, he'll dive like
Yeah.
and go back.
They were probably too scared to tighten them down any because the feed necks would snap.
Probably. I know, like almost everything that you see Thomas Taylor running, his fucking hoppers open.
Yeah.
Skittles going everywhere. Yeah.
What a time to be alive. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really sure where we were going to go with this episode. Just kind
Actually, what about for nostalgia? What about those
what?
old style Dirter videos? Bring those back.
Well, that's what I was saying on the last episode. I wish they would do more
Yeah.
long form content, which we're kind of getting that. All that matters, the PB Fit story. Damage just dropped like a 2-hour story. I haven't watched it yet. I heard it's really good.
I finally watched that.
Was it
It's
good?
pretty good.
Yeah, so I mean
Yeah.
we're finally getting there. We're getting back there because you know we're so tuned and programmed as people now for shorts, and like shout out to people like Verb and all them who capitalize on that, because what does everybody do all day? You know, for the YouTube, I'm just blankly scrolling on my phone for the people listening on audio only. But this is what we do all day. We just fucking we doom scroll. So
Just like this.
yeah, that's exactly what we do. So shout out to Verb and all them who really, you know, get eyes on, you know, Matt the Gym Rat with his TikToks and stuff like that. You know, he does his long form on YouTube. He's got his other socials. The time and place for all that shit. But for, you know, I feel like the shorts and all that are for like the general public. But for the players, seasoned veterans, casual fans that, you know, like myself, has been here for a long time. You know, I don't consider myself real seasoned, even though I'm salt and pepper like a motherfucker right now. Check that out. That's Gray Fox. But look at the beard. The whole bottom half of the beard is fucking gray. Anyways,
What did he tell you recently? God, you're fucking old.
yeah, he was like, "Dude, you look old as fuck," and I'm like, "Yeah, I feel it too." But he looks exactly the same. But where was I going with that? Oh, the long form content. The long form content is what I think that we need for the people in the sport. It helps kind of build the hype. You know, there's been really nothing as far as like hype or anything like that for this off season. You know, it's been kind of dead. I feel like I've been kind of losing interest in pro paintball because there's not a whole lot going on, and I'm like, oh, this is like, come on, do something,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I honestly, as soon as I hit stop record, I'm probably gonna have like 20 things that I missed talking about. But as of right now, like I kind of don't have a whole lot to say. Like as far as nostalgia goes, I just, that gear, all that gear was great for its time. It's where it needs to be
Absolutely.
back in the past. And
Yeah.
now the game has evolved so much. The game is much more athletic than it's ever been. So hence the whole conversation on the joggers we just had, the lightweight jerseys, the lighter guns. It's just the game has evolved, and it's okay to like, people like old muscle cars from the fucking 60s. So it's okay to like old things. Do I think that they need to bring everything that we had from back then up to now? No.
No.
The i3s
No.
was a cool touch, because they just to praise them even more, they listened. Everybody's been saying shit about GI, like, man, I wouldn't mind another profiler, and they're like, hey, hold my beer, we're about to fuck this up big time. And they released it, and they're like, Profiler 2.0, and we were all like, no, please God, no, keep that. And then Die was like, yeah, we're not going to do that. So if anybody's thinking about bringing anything back to the future, then, just kind of take a playbook out of that page of Die's playbook, and that page only. No other fucking page, just that page only, okay?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that.
Thins, like, with JT, like, bringing back Thins, that's not bad.
Massive. I forgot all about that. That's one thing that I
Yeah.
would hit stop recording and be like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. They're not as like I mean, they're very comparable to the old ones, but like you put them beside the old ones and it's plain as fucking day difference. But it is better than paying $100+ for 20-year-old, plastic, rubber, whatever, that could potentially
yeah.
crumble in your fingers when you change the lens. So, like, these companies are trying to do things. They're listening. They might not have their ears wide open, but they're in the right direction. I feel like
Probably doing what they can afford. You know what I mean?
I mean that too, but
Because the cost of living and cost of like making everything is just so fucking expensive now.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
well, just like I was talking about these printed bottoms and shit earlier. Nobody asked for any of these. And we were just going on a fucking shitty 2-lane highway of just like products that nobody wanted, right? And then
Yeah.
JT's like, all right, check these clears out. And then we kind of start merging onto the fucking interstate. And then, now we have clears. And then the birthstones took off. And, that was kind of oversaturated. We got thins, we got i3s, just this shit is cool and it's good. It scratches an itch for the older players, I think, and it gives the younger players a chance to be like, like, oh, my uncle or my older brother used to wear this shit back in the day, and now I can buy it new. I don't have to buy it falling apart from a fucking fat 400-pound dude in his mama's basement off of fucking paintball buy talk trade on Facebook,
Yeah.
So it smells like fucking beef tallow and Newports. but where the fuck did I come up with that? Sometimes I amaze myself.
Oh.
Fucking beef tallow and Newports.
man.
Oh god, I was fucking belly laughing so hard I moved my camera. How about that fucking piece of shit? Here, you get back down here. I'm not done with you. But yeah, I really don't have a whole lot to add for this episode. I am excited to start getting into the 2026 season and kind of try to build some fucking hype around that because it's right around the corner.
Yeah, there's some definitely like key talking points that I want to talk about.
Yeah,
With like rule changes and so on and so forth. I don't know. We'll talk about that next. I'll save
Yeah.
it for next episode.
we'll like TC says,
Um,
we'll burn that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. For myself, man, I really don't have too much more to add because we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we talk about nostalgia all the fucking time for the most part.
Yeah, and we'll continue to. I mean, it's the nature
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
nature of the beast for us. And Actually got a message the other day because one thing I always say is how
Talk about that dude that thanked us.
we always kind of this is all unintentional. I always say we unintentionally target an audience of returning players. Like when we started this show, it's not like, oh, let's see how many people we can get back into the show. It's just kind of what it is. So let me find it on here. Um, Nightmares Arc on Instagram says, y'all probably get this a lot, but I just wanted to say thanks for reigniting my drive for the sport. After taking a break for so long, I joined around episode 104, but I'm redoing all the previous episodes and currently at 50, no pun intended. Um, I personally love seeing comments like this. Comments or DMs. Feel free to shoot us a message. I mean, it's not like we're too fucking busy with followers and fans and whatever. We can't, like, if you just want to shoot the shit about paintball, dude, we'll gladly talk to you. But like, I really do enjoy that because it makes this little passion project that we love to call this thing worth doing to me. Like, if me doing this little show for the last 4 years now, three or 4 years,
Roughly.
I think this is the fourth year. In my fucking little game room up here can get somebody back on a field or just even reignite their love for the sport to just follow it, that's a win that I never expected to do when we start. I thought this was just going to be me, you, and TC talking with, 3 or 4 listens per episode and the listens being ourselves, So,
Yeah.
I'm proud to do this. And, some days it's harder to do it than others, with life happening and trying to make time for something that, we put a lot of effort into this thing, and it does take up a good bit of time. But, at the end of the day, I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to get the messages like this, and I hope we get more, and that, we can maybe build a little community because we have some shit coming down the pipeline for people that might be interested. Yeah.
Sometime next week, I'll make a post on Instagram, kind of like a teaser for some insight.
You said this 2 weeks ago on the last episode.
No, well, so
What's gonna happen is I'm gonna have to fucking do it.
no, because I wanted to do this little reveal thing, and I want to run it by you first before I post it, before I get the fucking message or a call. What the fuck did you post? That's so fucking retarded.
Because I'm fucking editor, executive producer, director, casting couch guy. That's a terrible fucking shot. I ought to screenshot that and make that a thumbnail for the fucking episode.
Go for it.
I should. That's terrible. That's the.
I could do the Meshuggah thing. I was like,
yeah, you look like an X-ray dickhead. That's what you look like. So,
nice.
But no, I just wanted to highlight that. We might have had a Spotify comment. Let me check real quick. I'd like to kind of highlight some of these things, unless they're Ricky's, and I'll go past them. But let's see. I want to say we had one. I could be wrong. Comments. Chris 10 days ago says, "Hey, I watch every episode." Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you, my man. That was for the ranking paintball episodes. We did get one guy when we were talking about the Angel Eyes. We were ranking masks and stuff. He said he had the original Angel Eyes banner from Huntington Beach failed release, and how much would I give for the advertising banner? And I was like, yo, DM me. And he sent me a picture of the banner, and that motherfucker's dope as shit, but we never really talked about like pricing or anything. But that would be a cool piece of history to have, just like, the reveal banner or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know if I'd want to hang that bitch up.
I would. Why not?
It's cool. Oh my god, dude, it's cool as shit. But that's really all I have. Daniel, tell them about our sponsor, and then we'll get out of here.
So, if you were looking for a plethora items for your paintball gear bag, you can check out infamouspaintball.com. They have elbow pads, they have headgear, they have cleats, they have protective gear, they have barrels, triggers, like all kinds of shit for your paintball needs. Check them out at infamouspaintball.com. Use our code CENTER50, CENTER50 at checkout. Save yourself 10%. You just cannot use that code for marker purchases. It does not work.
That's right.
Now, tell them about the other part.
Foundation, fndn.com. They have heated apparel, sweatshirts, beanies, hoodies, gloves, any kind of heated apparel that you'd like. fndn.com. Use code _center_50, just as it reads as our Instagram name, for 10% off on there. I have the waffle long sleeve heated shirt. They do have a disclaimer. I just want to say this so that nobody can fucking point no fingers at me. They have a disclaimer on the website that says, sizes do fit a little small. I don't know the exact word, but you can find it for yourself if you're capable of getting to the website. You're capable of reading the disclaimer. So I ordered like a 2X, and it was more of like an XL. So it says to size up. My wife ordered it for me. She didn't see that. I didn't know nothing about it. So I could still wear it, but I would wear a hoodie over it because my belly would be busting right out of the motherfucker. But it's comfortable as shit. Like, I swear to God, it's super comfortable. 10% on Pro DNA, 10% on Foundation. And also, if you're listening to this and you're interested in, partnership, sponsorship, or whatever, like, we don't want any free shit. We have enough of stuff. But if, you want to make a partnership on something we can give back to our community, a discount code, products to give away, anything you want to work with, we'll be glad to hear you out and go from there. Other than that, this has been 108, I think. And if it's a different number, then, you'll fucking figure it out by the time you get to this point.
Yeah, I got nothing further, man.
All right. Well, in that case, peace, love, and chicken grease, and we'll catch you bitches on the pregame for the 2026 season. Woo!
Oh my God.